All right, just over 24 hours to go before the greatest non-sporting sporting event on the American sports landscape. I talk, of course, of the NFL Draft. From the Sporting News Studios, I'm Tom Vandervoort with our NFL writer and also a past Jeopardy champion, I'll have you know, Mr. Vinny Iyer. There are obviously, Vinny, a lot of questions as we go into this draft, and specifically about the first round. So I'm going to ask you some of these questions, and you're going to give me your best guess as to the answers.
In the form of an answer?
Well, you can do it the traditional way.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk about quarterbacks. Okay. Always a big topic here. I get the feeling there's a bunch of guys could go, or we could see one guy in the first round. What do you think is going to happen with the quarterbacks in the first round here?
Well, I think there's going to be some teams that reach for quarterbacks. That's always been the case. But it's more so with the new contracts in place. You can take a chance on the guy. You're not investing too much money over 4 years. So you look at Geno Smith. I think everyone thinks he'll be the number one to go. And
it would be surprised if he weren't the first quarterback,
exactly.
Right?
I think he'll be off the board. We know he's going in the first round. Other than that, all bets are kind of off on when he goes and who goes after him.
Is this the kind of a draft where if you need a quarterback, you really, really want to trade down so you don't use a pick on somebody that's not quite up to that standard?
Well, I think a lot of those teams that want a quarterback are probably thinking the same thing. So they'll all be competing with each other to do that, to get in the right position. So you have to be careful if you really like a guy that you don't want to go too far out where another team could jump up and get him.
Gotcha. Okay, let's talk about teams with 2 first-round picks. We now include the Jets, the Rams, and the Vikings in that list. What do you think is going to happen with these teams in the first round?
Well, the Jets obviously now need a cornerback. With that number 13 pick they acquired, they had to send Darrelle Revis to Tampa Bay. So they're going to look at a cornerback there, that number 13 pick.
I mean, Milner's going to be gone by then,
yeah,
right?
I think D. Milner's gone. I mean, they do have the ammunition now with number 9 and 13 if they really want to trade up. I can't see that happening. But you look at the corner they could target at 13. But then you think about offense as well for this team. Tavon Austin is sitting there, 9-13 range. That'll be an exciting guy to get in the mix for Mark Sanchez. And then maybe an offensive lineman. You look at Jonathan Cooper or Chance Warmack, the top guard in the draft, they're going to have a shot at both of those guys. So I know they like Barkevious Mingo on the defensive side, but it wouldn't surprise me if they go offense here twice.
Gotcha. And how about the Rams and the Vikings? Anything floating to the top of your mind for those teams?
Well, I think the Rams also I would go offensive-minded in this draft. Now the way that Tavon Austin is rising, they might not have a shot at him anymore unless they maneuver their picks a little bit. But another guy I like for them is Tyler Eifert from Notre Dame, the tight end. I think he can go anywhere from 15 all the way down to 25, so there's a big range on him, but he's a special playmaker they could use. And then another pick I would like is a running back for them, maybe Eddie Lacy. Steven Jackson is in Atlanta now. So those are 2 positions you look out for them.
Okay, now let's talk about trades. There's always some interesting trades that happen. What would you say is the most likely scenario if I look at the team that's most likely to move up and the team that really has the best opportunity to be a match for that team? Put those 2 teams together for me.
Well, I think you look at the San Francisco 49ers because they have all that ammunition with the 14 picks in this draft. So they'll be looking to move up. I think they probably want to move up with an AFC team. So you want to look at the teams in the middle there, and that maybe the Tennessee Titans are a possibility where they could jump up into a position where they could get in Austin, and Tennessee, having multiple needs, wouldn't mind that. So you look at Tennessee at number 10 as a possible trade up, maybe San Diego at 11. And another team you look at a little bit higher is the Miami Dolphins, where they need an offensive tackle too. Jake Long is now in St. Louis. You look at where Lane Johnson might fall, number 7 to the Cardinals. I think they would have to jump up into that spot, but it's a strong possibility.
Okay, so the Dolphins do have a lot of picks too, and it's obviously great for the 49ers that they had that first-round pick they can include as part of that package.
Well, I think you look at the 49ers. We know the Seahawks have been very aggressive so far this offseason. 49ers are trying to catch up. Another team you talk about, the Atlanta Falcons, a couple years ago, they shot up to number 6, got Julio Jones away from Cleveland at that pick. So you know they're ready to do something. All these teams are competing with each other for that NFC title. They don't want to be left in the dark after this draft.
All right, very good. We'll see what happens. That's our first round preview. For Vinny Iyer, I'm Tom Vandervoort. Thanks for watching.